All right, we are now out of executive session. Motion was made by Jason Steen and seconded by Dr. Johnson to come out of executive session. We're now to the approval of the agenda items. Is there a motion to approve the agenda items? Motion and a second? All right, all in favor? All right, I'm going to turn it over to our administrator for the statement regarding the closure of Mohawk Industry, Oak River Mill.
Mr. Chairman and members of council and the audience, we have a large audience here tonight. The Mohawk River announcement came as a surprise to county leaders as it did to the 600 employees at the site. Just 4 months ago, county council renewed tax incentives for Mohawk, and in the months leading up to that approval, we were told that there were no plans to close the site. Since the announcement, there have been discussions and meetings with Mohawk, the Department of Commerce, local utilities, and others to determine if the decision could be reversed. Unfortunately, the decision stands and the plant will close in November. The immediate focus is now shifted to finding jobs for workers and finding another company that could occupy the site. There are multiple agencies involved with this effort, with the employment effort. PD Regional Workforce Board, South Carolina Employment Security Commission, and others meet Friday, at which time all efforts can be better aligned. One concern that was discovered was that some of the job listings weren't going to include jobs in North Carolina, yet we've had calls. I personally had lots of calls from people right across the line with jobs available now for people looking for jobs coming from Mohawk. Hopefully this will be corrected and those jobs will be made available as well. I meet tomorrow with senior Department of Commerce staff to discuss a strategy for trying to get someone else in the site into the building. Unfortunately, Mohawk has not shared their intentions with us, the intentions about the building, and until that happens, it'll be difficult to try to market the building. Marlboro County Council has been very proactive in their support of Mohawk and all local industries. Council has approved incentives and even started a bus route in 2019 to serve industries, with Mohawk being the anchor industry as it was so far away from town. In the past 5 years, Council has approved incentives for Domtar, Sopaco, Mohawk, Carolina AAC, and others. But the Mohawk closing highlights the fact that regardless of these incentives and other support, Mohawk nor any other business in the county can survive without a skilled and willing workforce. The folks that have worked in Mohawk that are there now and going to be soon leaving are a testament to good workers in our county, and they have made that company work for many, many years. But there's a need for more of those folks. Almost every business in this county, from fast food restaurants to Oak River Mill, struggles to run their businesses because they can't find enough good workers. Marlboro County has the highest unemployment rate in the state. Yet I've talked for many hours over the past week with companies in our area, all of which are in need of workers. This hopefully will help folks that need jobs find jobs, but it does show the need to have skilled workers. Without a true community effort to address these issues, Mohawk's announcement won't be the last one. People are quick to say that there are a lot of people that could work but aren't working. You hear that often. The fix for that issue is complicated and one that will take time to address. However, providing access to training and education for folks that do want to work can make an impact in the near future. So while we focus on finding jobs for people that are displaced, and we see a lot of orange shirts out here tonight, we also have to prevent this from happening by providing this training for the people here so that they are in place when we have a new company, or for the many jobs that the companies here want to fill. It's time to ask hard questions and work together to support those responsible for training and education in our county. County government doesn't run training or education programs, but in 2017, County Council donated the old Winn-Dixie site on Oakwood Street to Northeastern Technical College for the creation of a vocational training center. The questions have to be asked: is that facility serving the needs of industries and business? Are they teaching what needs to be taught, creating skills to have these jobs? Both the school district and NETC provide vocational training to their students. Are these programs complementing each other? Are they supporting each other? Or worse, are they competing with each other? And are the programs offered by both the schools and NETC, are they actually training people to do things that are needed in the county? There's there's programs to teach you how to cook, but we need more programs to teach folks how to do computer work or PLC work in the industry and that kind of thing. Another factor that's severely limiting our growth here is the lack of amenities and appearance of our community. Amenities meaning restaurants, shops, the kind of thing that people want when, after they work a long week, they have somewhere to spend their money locally. Marlboro County Economic Development Partnership has an image committee that includes all the county's mayors and other leaders from the county. That group worked for months to identify image issues, things that needed to be fixed to make us look better so we could attract more people. Yet, for the most part, when it came time to spend money, either no money was available or no action was taken. We have to try to work together to find those resources to address those issues. Marlboro County Council has put their money where their mouth is with projects like the $3 million cleanup of the Delta site, which was an environmental hazard and an eyesore. If you ride down 9, you can see that the second plant stops going down. How do we convince other agencies and private owners of property to address these issues for which they are responsible? And how do we as a county government continue to put our resources toward making the county look better? Marlboro County Council, just in the last year, has committed the majority of its American Rescue Act money to the creation of new recreation facilities and programs. The county received around $5 million from the feds. This is money that literally fell out of the sky. Nobody knew what was coming. The county council chose to put $4 million of that towards doing something to actually improve this community. And we challenge other governments to do the same thing. It's so easy to nickel and dime that money and not see anything come from it. Council has set that aside and are working now to develop that into something that will improve our community. As a community, we must begin to focus on action that will see the greatest impact. There's a tendency everywhere to spread the money around to every little interest in the county, and nothing really comes of it. One example that may work is we have a need here for housing for teachers and others that need apartment-type housing. We want more restaurants and shops. We want to make the image of the community better for people that pass through here. You see it on the weekends. The streets are clogged with people passing through here. But instead of competing and not supporting each other, we look at projects like the downtown Douglasville housing situation, where all this second floor housing could be developed. You would immediately get restaurants, especially retail shops. Tourist traffic would increase. The image of the community would be on the rise. This is an idea that's been presented for over 5 years to multiple groups and a lot of talk and no action. Why? Because everyone has to be on the same page, willing to spend their money wisely and everything, the roadblocks that limit progress. We just simply have to try to work together and find things that will have results. In closing, we must all work to solve the issues of the workforce. That's something that we've seen coming, that we're made attempts with the donation of the buildings and tech to try to address. But we have to come back together and make sure that what's going on inside the building matches what needs to be going on. We have to address the negative image of the community. Trash everywhere, the run-down buildings, all the things that make us a dying community to people from the outside. All this means everyone carrying their load and everyone moving towards the same goal. If we as a community can stop competing with ourselves, fighting with ourselves, and making poor short-term decisions with money and resources, we can begin to create a better future. These are the goals that the council has indicated they want to pursue, and have been pursuing. But now is the crisis point where we need to get everyone together and really take a hard look at what's going on and how we can make a difference by pooling our resources.
Thank you, Ron. I'd like to add to all y'all that the immediate action County Council is taking is to set up a on-site job fair to try to place workers with new jobs, and we're going to also get together a community workforce task force to strengthen our existing workforce. We feel your concern and stand with you to get you reemployed, and we want y'all to know y'all have our support. And I'll close with that and move on to the approval of the minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
The July 12th, 2022, regular council meeting minutes, is that?
Yes.
Okay. Got a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Oh, okay, sorry. All in favor? Minutes are approved as written. We need approval of minutes from July 20th, 2022, the called council meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I got a couple of addition, maybe y'all can just straighten me out on this one. On the call meeting, on the second page, there was a statement in the meeting, in the minutes, that Mr. Woods and Dr. Johnson did not vote. We did not vote, but we're not asked to vote. Robert Rules of Order always states that there's always a motion and a second. After the second, the chairman supposed to say, time for discussion. And that was not said. And at the time of a vote, when you say all in favor, raise your hand, those opposed, then that when we put the vote, but that one never was carried out. So that's why in a minute they said that Mr. Woods and Dr. Johnson did not vote because of the fact that you did not follow the Robert's Rules of Order and saying that all opposed, raise your hand. It's all that be noted in the minutes for future references.
Okay. Susan, you got that? Yes, sir. Okay. So there is a motion that is there a second to approve the minutes as, in a second?
Amendment.
All right, all in favor?
With the proper amendments. With the proper amendment, with the proper amendments of the minutes.
Yeah, the amending of the minutes. All in favor?
Abstain.
All right, moving on to old business. We've got ordinance 831, an ordinance to implement the regulation regarding the detonation of explosive devices in Marlboro County. This is the second reading.
Mr. Chairman, as you can see, this was an issue that came to council two meetings ago, and regarding some citizen concerns about people exploding tannerite, which is basically something you can buy at a gun store and mix up and shoot. People do it to, I guess, for fun, but it obviously can create a problem when your neighbors aren't into the same fun. So you can see in here the ordinance that's been devised. It came out of the Public Safety Committee meeting. Dr. Johnson was helpful in identifying a sample ordinance in another county. So we will take one more look at this. There's a statute citation in the back that'll be corrected. For the third reading, there'll also have to be a public hearing because it imposes a civil penalty, criminal penalty, if you violate it. But this is the second reading, and this is action being taken towards a community concern.
Are there any questions? All right.
I do have one. This is the ordinance basically for those big explosives, right? We're not trying to limit the use of firecrackers within the county, right?
No, sir, but I would encourage you to take a look at this because it is a big change in how things have been in a rural county like Marlboro County. You know, it's kind of everything goes before.
Right.
So I would encourage you to all take a look at this and read it and make sure you don't see something in there that maybe goes too far.
Right.
It came from a rural county, so it's
What is the major change for everybody?
well, it just makes it to where you can't just, I'll try to find some, you can't detonate these explosives within 1,500 feet from a public gathering place. You have to have written consent of the owners of a residential dwelling to fire them off 1,500 feet from that. You have to be careful about safety. You have to be careful about something flying off of it into somebody else's property. You can't do it while you're under the influence of alcohol. That'll stop all the fireworks just going off in the county. And those sort of things. So the biggest part is section 8, which is on page 2.
And it's a penalty for that.
There is a penalty, and that's the part that we got to tweak before the final reading.
Okay.
But you can write, the sheriff's department or a law enforcement person could write you a ticket for doing this.
Well, and we don't want to interfere with professional fireworks display. Right?
No, it all has exceptions for, for kind of official things like historical ceremony or commemorative functions that are conducted involving the discharge of firearms or explosives, that's an exception. So something that's organized is not a problem. But again, I mean, I would really stress that you take a look, because it is creating a regulation that hasn't existed here before.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve the second reading of ordinance 831?
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Abstain.
All right, moving to new business, we have resolution 82201, a resolution establishing the millage rates for fiscal year 2022 to 2023, and authorizing the county auditor and county administrator to set the lost credit factor.
Mr. Chairman, this is done every year, and it mirrors the budget millage, so it just gives you the document to send to the auditor for her to create the tax bills. The local option sales tax credit is something that's being worked on right now, and that's basically, money, some combination of money that we get from the state to be able to reduce your property taxes. The good thing is, just today we learned that we received more from the state than we had anticipated. So we're looking to see how much that credit can be, and it looks like it can be a little more, which will give people relief. You can't count on it to be the same every year, because it depends on what we get from the state. But this year looks to be a good year for that, and we'll work together to get that and make it the maximum amount that we can do within proper financial management.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions?
Make a motion for resolution 082201.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor? Any noes?
Abstain.
Okay, appointments to boards and commissions. Mr. Administrator, we need to add the Community Workforce Task Force, try to form that, and a board to search for a recreation director.
No.
Yep.
No, no, sir. There was an email I sent you all about creating an advisory board to look at the golf course and the development of the non-golf course parts of the recreation complex. And my suggestion would be that the golf component can be people that are involved in golf. We all know people. The other component, which are the non-golf parts to make up the complex, would need to include y'all's choosing, but certainly someone like Ms. Troman, who's been an advocate of that, or Mr. Sully Blair, who's over the Lake Commission, that kind of thing. I don't know that's something you have to do right now, but I think that's certainly something that council should weigh in their thoughts over the next few days so that you could appoint that and we can get moving with that. We have finalized all the legal stuff on the contract with the country club property, so the next step is how to make that the recreation complex that the county council wants. So we need that help. So no action requested, just action consideration and action in the next week or so.
We're not there yet, so. Appointments to boards and commissions, anybody else have appointments? Ron, if you can get everybody a list
I will.
of what appointments need to be filled. Okay, acceptance of bids, do we have any? I have none, sir. All right, moving to reports, finance report, Mr. Westpark.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, council members, Mr. Munawin. You have the report before you for the month ending July 31, 2022. Revenues for that period total $254,597. General fund expenses for the month ended totaled $812,813 of a $13,854,125 budget, or 5.87% of budget year to date. Of course, it's very early in the year, so limited amount of activity at this point. I don't know if you've got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Are there any questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Park. Administrator's report.
Mr. Chairman, as we do each month, we recognize employees with 5 or more years of service to the county through the month of July. So this year we have a handful. Ms. Emma Ocean with 8 years, Mr. Keith Hughes with 10 years, Sharon Sanders with 11 years, Dwan Bostic with 19 years, LaShawn Wheeler with 20 years, Sandy Wilkes with 28 years, Ms. Kathy Leggett with 35 years. So we have a few folks who've been with us for a while on there, and we appreciate their service. As far as the administrator's report, we had a very successful family fun day and back-to-school bash. It was a big undertaking at the at Lindsay Park on July 30th. It was a huge success, at least from my viewpoint, with hundreds of people coming, enjoying the activities and the food, and it even had a thunderstorm and it didn't scare everybody off. We had lots of people there. I want to thank the county staff for their hard work, and of course Ms. Plato, whose vision was to enhance that and make that an event that can carry on every year before school. Ms. Plato has chose not to run and is sort of retiring from council, and instead of a bunch of hoopla about her, she wanted to make it about the people, and we appreciate that, Ms. Plato. Yeah, council committee meetings, we didn't have them this month because of the Association of Counties conference that you all are attending. Those will be scheduled for the week prior to the next county council meeting, so look for those. The digital sign is in operation and will become very valuable in the coming weeks as we communicate the jobs in the county and even the jobs from the counties right across the line in North Carolina and places like Dillon. The site's been landscaped, and the lot around the site is being cleaned up as well. The county owns that entire lot. So that's turned out to be a good thing and will be put into use. Recreation, some positive news. We've been in communication with Marlboro County High School's athletic director and head football coach, Quinn McCollum. As y'all probably know, because all of us know Coach Quinn, he's struggling to get people to come out and try to rebuild that program out there, and we want to support him in his efforts, and of course he can help us too. So he's agreed, and we've all agreed to be involved in the rec department football program to start with, where Coach McCollum can come in and kind of coach the coaches and help them understand how it works when they get to his level, so we can begin to have kids start to understand that as they move through that program. As we begin to sign up and everything for the football program, we will do the same sort of system we used in the winter basketball league, where communities can try to put together their own team, but if we don't have enough, then we'll fill those gaps with people from other areas, and we'll have some sort of evaluation so that we spread the talent equally. Hopefully that'll work out and we have enough people from the community so we can start to restore that somewhat, with the caveat of filling the spots with folks that have gone through an evaluation. So we're very excited about that, and he is very enthusiastic about that. He's all about that, and we need to support him. I'm pleased that we've received a number of applications for the recreation director position with several standout candidates. So we're beginning to schedule interviews for the next week or so for these positions. And so we can get that person in place that'll tie in good with the project that council's pursuing, and also with efforts like Coach McCollum's efforts. With regards to the recreation complex, the contract with the owners of Marlboro Country Club has been finalized. The last markup, I think, went to Attorney McLeod, and we hope to sign that tomorrow. That will give the county until January 31st to give you that much time to make a decision and to lay things out like you want it and make sure you're going to move forward. I know that council is adamant that that be not just a golf facility, but have other facilities, and it gives you time to do that. These committees that we mentioned earlier will play a huge part in that and allow for council input and citizen input with folks that know about the things we're trying to do. So that's moving forward, and we're happy to report that we're there on that part of it. And I don't have anything else. I can try to answer questions.
Are there any questions? We'll move to the recognition of our citizens. This is to hear our citizens' concerns in the community, but it is not to be addressed by the council. And our first one is Frederick Davis.
How you doing, Mr. Chairman, the council members? My name is Frederick Davis, and I come to address the council about Mohawk Industries. I've been there myself for 12 years, and other people here have been here probably there and longer. Me, I don't appreciate how we were, I say, how decisions were made to us by people that don't know us. We here in Marlboro County, the ones that work at the plant, are hard-working people. We have dedicated our lives and sacrificed time with our family for this company. And I understand things did happen, and it wasn't until I guess they approve of how things happen. But to me, I don't believe they used every single option they could have used. Just all of a sudden, they come, look at 3 plants, and just made a decision, just like that. So to me, it made like that decision was gonna be made when they came here or not. Everyone here was hurt. I understand everyone here hurt because some people that work since they've been in high school and worked 20 and 30 years. And me, myself, I've been 12 years, like I said, but I'm upset because all the loyalty we have shown to the plant, they're not showing us any love at all by not giving us anything. But they're trying to take more still. And I ask you, if y'all plan to talk to Mohawk officials again, if anyone can come up and ask the question, why you're not giving the employees that have been loyal to you from day one anything? And if it comes to another plant that comes and take over, another company that comes take over the plant, please make sure that this plant will treat your citizens better than Mohawk did. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Next up will be Donna Bridges.
Good evening, everyone. It's 2 things that I've always heard a person say. Don't mess with my family and don't mess with my money. Well, Mohawk has done both things. They've messed with people's family and their money, because if I cannot feed my family, then my family is destroyed. If I don't have shelter and clothing for my family, then my family is destroyed. 600 people in October don't know what they're going to do. They can't go anywhere because if they go to another job, then they can't get their 401. So it's like it's a new time slavery in the sense of they have no freedom. They're stuck like Chuck. Now, the last meeting that you all had, and it was online that we watched it, there was a blatant mishandling and disrespect and neglect of the Robert Rules of Order. You didn't show us how to lead, but you showed us how to cheat. Those orders were put in place so that we can handle a meeting in a direct, mannerly way. Rules and order takes you a long way. I hope that you all rescind or look over or do the proper filing to veto that vote, because it wasn't handled right. Now, if this is how we're going to act on all of our councils, city council, school council, or county council, we're never going to get anywhere as a county. We have to stick together. We're about to have 600 people who will not have a job. Now, Mr. Munderland, you made sure at the last meeting that your income was secure for the next 4 years. You made sure. But these 600 people today don't know what they're going to do after October 6th, okay? You fought for him, people on this board, to make sure that his contract was extended. They don't have that same security. They're up here pleading for you to help them to be able to get severance pay and to help them to know what they're going to do after October 6th. Now, it's going to affect everybody. If you own property around here, guess what? You're not getting any rent money, okay? Because they're going to have to make a decision. Do I pay rent money? Children are going back to school next week. They need to buy school clothes. Mortgages are not going to be paid. So that means when they get a job in another state, guess what? They're gonna stop at their stores, at their Walmart, at their business, and give them their money, and we're not gonna get that money in Marlboro County. So think of it. Now, I heard today that he said that he spoke with Mohawk. Well, when these companies come, you need to make some type of contingencies that say that if you should happen to leave here, you have to do this. That's what an economic development person does. You manage. I tell you what I'm going to let you do. If you come here, you don't get to tell me what you're going to do, because these are my people. When the company leaves, we're stuck with the people. Okay? So we need a manager. So if you're going to manage, manage. Now, I have a question, and I know it's not going to get answered, but why does one person hold two positions? Why does one person? It seems like it's a monopoly and a conflict of interest. There's enough educated, and I really don't think it may be educated, that is part of the requirement for another person to be hired. But when they made this vote last week, regardless of who's hired, one person still gets the income of the economic development person. Is that fair to us? Because we don't get any income after October 6th. Okay, thank you. So we also want to know, what is the 5-year plan? What's the 5-year economic plan? What's the 10-year economic plan for Marlboro County? Where's the transparency? Where's it written? Can every person in Marlboro County have a copy of that? Is it on the website? Can it be explained to people? Last thing, and I'm going to hurry up. We are the poorest and the ruralest when it comes for getting grants and funding. But when we get the money, we never see any growth. We never see anything. He stated today that we have $5 million fell out the sky. Well, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. Why are we not seeing any of it? Why we don't see any plans for the recreation department? Our children need swimming pools. Our elderly need aquatic exercise. We need an in-ground pool. We need something for all of us. Don't tell everybody that we're poor to get the money, but then when we get the money, we don't see the money. Nothing's being built up. It's too long, and it's over time. Now, it's a lot of people here today, but I commend every one of you for coming, but then I also want to say shame on you, because you should have been here every month, every month. You need to go to all the meetings. You need to go to county meetings. You need to go to city council meetings, and you need to go to school board meetings. Why? Because when they're in here playing chess, you think they're playing checkers. But it's all of our lives that are at stake here. It's all of our economy, it's all of our children, and it's our life. And if your life does not mean anything to you, then sit on down. But if it does, you need to have yourself at a meeting every month, because they're making decisions for your life.
Ms. Richards, you've gone way over the 3 minutes.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you. All right, next up is Deacon Willie Bright.
Mr. Mullins, and they went in the right particular places. My name is Deacon Willie Bright. I am concerned about the kids and the parents, the mother and the father, how this went down around the holidays. They don't have food, they don't have clothes, transportation for gas. Listen, we're hollering out, I'm crying out for the people of Marlboro County and Mohawk. Listen, there should be a program put it aside until we find a job. People can get food stamps that help the kids. Again, money for rent to help pay their bills. We need money. We don't need all this talking going on and we not see no action. Now listen, county councilors, we need help. We really need help. Listen. Kids, I've been working with kids for 40-something years. Mr. Wood can bounce for that. I do what I can, picking them up, taking them here while the parents work at Mohawk. I love doing what I do. But listen, we got to look for our kids now. And the parents. There's no job. They're taking the benefit away from us. They don't want to give us nothing. I smile in the face. I talk to the plant manager. I say, listen, you in order. You in leadership, you should speak for your people. I said, that's what I do when I do at my church. I speak for my people. Somebody got to stand for the weak. The strong must stand for the weak. We need food stamp. We need money for rent. We need money for gas. And we need good training for a better job. You're not training people right running 2 and 3 weeks to throw them on the job. I think it's 90 days, but Mohawk was not getting them 90 days. They were rushing them. What Mohawk did to us was a slap in the face. But I know a man higher looks down and see everybody. Everyone in position. God looking at everyone hard. He looking down on them. He said, let the wheat and tares grow together. I do the separation. He gonna provide for his children. So I'm praying for y'all to do right. I'm praying. And my closing. The next job come here, I heard a young lady say it, make sure they got a good package for your people at Mohawk. You just can't pull out this leave with nothing. Mohawk been there 60-something years, people been there 40 years and not getting nothing. And that seems like it don't even phase him. It don't even phase him. But all thing we can do, prayer. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. Prayer changes things. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Deacon. All right, next up, Bernard Williams.
Good evening, everyone. I think I want to talk about most of the jobs, man. What are y'all doing for job creation here in Marlboro County? That's my main concern, like getting jobs here and everything. When you look around Marlboro County, ain't nothing here. I mean, nothing at all. I mean, we got Old River about to shut down October the 6th. That's what, 600 jobs gone? Just that quick. And me personally, I'm looking at the other surrounding counties, like Scotland County, Richmond County, Chesterfield County. These counties study building and growing and adding on. You come back to Marlboro County, like we're going backwards instead of going forward. This has been going on for the last 10, 15 years. Ain't nothing been done about it. Nothing at all. I mean, nothing been done about it, man. We need to get jobs here. People need jobs. I mean, I don't work at Old River, but my heart go out to y'all. I hate to dig y'all like that. And just praying for y'all, though. And like I say, man, this county is too big to be about the hospital. No family restaurant to go to. Nothing for the kids to do here during the summer. I mean, y'all got to get on the grind, man. Y'all supposed to be the leaders of this county, and like I said, y'all need to step up big time. Let these citizens know that y'all care. That's all I got to say, man. Get some jobs.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Mary Faulkner? Oh, I'm sorry. Mary Faulkner? So she's not. Okay, next up, Pearlie Lawson.
My name is Laverne Douglas. I'm 53 years old, born and raised right here in Marlboro County. Though I don't live here, I built all my businesses here. I moved back here and brought my businesses back here because as a child, I lived on a dirt road, no running water. Our house was so close to the railroad track that when the train would go by, it would rattle the house. My grandfather was a sharecropper. He worked for 25 cents an acre. He was a World War II veteran. He bled for his country, could not read or write. And when he came back here, they called him the N-word. We walked everywhere we had to go. We came through those back alleys. Me as a young, ambitious kid who admired his grandfather and his father, asked all the questions I could ask. Why we gotta go through this way, Pop? Why we gotta do this? Why can't I drink from right here? Right here in the corner of Broad Street. I drink that at school. Son, whenever you get older, maybe things will change. I'm not seeing that change anymore. I still have hope. I still believe in Marlboro County. I still believe in these children. I still believe in these people. Financial problems is not what I'm here about. It's about the care, man. We don't care anymore. Those parks are empty. As a child, our streets were flooded with kids, everywhere. People are afraid. I go down Cunningham Boulevard, I said, well, it's too hot. I'll come back later on, 7 o'clock, abandoned. What's going on? What's really going on? 600 people are gonna lose their way of taking care of their families. 600 people in a town like Marlboro County are gonna lose their ability to be able to pay their bills, to be able to do just the basic things in life. 600 people. What are we gonna really do about this? I pray every day. I believe every day. I try every day. I take rundown houses that people don't want, build them, remodel them, and give affordable living for this county. 17 rental properties. I have people right now that can't even pay the rent. It's okay. Because I'm gonna do my part. I'm not here stuffing my pockets. When we ran the fish market, the people from tobacco wouldn't even have lunch. Wouldn't even have lunch. Couldn't feed themselves. And they would come to that place. We fed them. We did it with a smile. Because it's not about packing our pockets and sitting back and waiting on somebody else to step up. We got to do this, man. I sold newspapers as a child on that street corner and did not get a dime in my pocket. I took it right to my mom. Because I want to make sure. Mom, can we get the water cut on now? My friends, they have their water cut on. You understand what I'm saying? I'm from here. I'm from here, man. And I see this going on, and it's a travesty. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And you sit here, we got to do more. It's a we effort. It's not a you effort or you effort. It's a we effort. But you guys are who we put in these positions. We safeguard, we trust you with our children, our grandchildren. These jobs, we entrust you with them. We depend on you. We believe in you. Because if you wouldn't be here. You got to do something. You got to.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Pearlie Lawson? Is Miss Pearlie Lawson in?
Miss Lawson.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the council, ladies and gentlemen, and to all present. I, Pearlie Lawson, am appearing before this council to request that the council consider using monies received from the American Rescue Plan, which was stated over $5 million, but I do understand that at least $1 million of it has already been used for recreation. Other funds have been used for bonuses for employees, and I'm sure that there are other projects that you have in mind. However, I have learned that other counties are considering using their funds. I would like for this county to consider to use at least $500,000 towards abolishing blighted, abandoned homes and buildings in the main quarter of our county. I know that all communities have abandoned buildings, but we need to focus on areas such as the 15401 bypass, Cottingham Boulevard, and number 9 West. These heavily trafficked areas of our county are where prospective buyers and homeowners see first. The benefit of focusing on a major project such as this will show that the training material that is available to us. When I say I again, I say all of us need to be reading this handbook for county government. We got this, so we need to use this. Secondly, all of us need to get familiar with the Robert Rules of Order. All of us need to get familiar with that so we can recognize things such as point of order, when time for discussion for a motion, and the simple things is that. That's something we need to do for ourselves. Lastly, I'd like to propose that the county and hopefully the city government in all towns will have a clean and green trash pickup in the fall. I request that this be placed on the agenda as an action item for Marlboro County. Not only is trash everywhere, which we all see, but there are also things that our South Carolina DOT should be taking care of. like the tall grass on Highway number 9 West. You hit Wallace, you come back to Bennettsfield, and the grass is like a wheat field. You go to Society Hill, you come back, the grass is like a wheat field. All of these areas in that medium is like a wheat field. That should not stay like this. In order for us to, what we call, improve our county, let's work together for the simple things. And with that, I say thank you, and I appreciate everything that was said tonight, because I personally plan to take those things at heart and do the best that I can to bring about better government. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lawson. We've got Al McLam.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Alfred McLam. After hearing about the tragedy of those from Oak River, I want to reserve my time and let them speak.
Good evening. My name is Paul Bostic. I've been at Mohawk for 26 years. And at Old Mohawk, you got supervisors getting $45,000 for service pay. What in the world did they do to get service pay? We can't even get service pay. We done been here all these many years. We work hard. Every morning we get up hurting, but still yet we gotta go to work. We get up early in the morning, still hurting, but still we got to go to work. We get in there, and when we work, it ain't no job. It's a modern slave company. Amen. We get in there early in the morning, work hard, service hard, work hard, working on that concrete floor for 12 hours, go home, still hurting. What is y'all gonna do now where we don't got no job? We don't know where we gonna get a job from. You about 62, ain't nobody wanna hire a 62-year-old man. They gonna wanna hire somebody 30 and on down. What is y'all gonna do? Y'all got money in y'all pockets. Y'all houses, some of y'all houses are paid for. But we walk down here with our houses not paid for. Rent man come, how we gonna pay our rent? How we gonna pay our mortgage? Let me tell you something. Prejudice don't make no money. We as people, we make the money for whoever plant it is. Instead of pulling away, y'all got to pull together. We got to pull together. Never mind you're black or white. You got to pull together. All of us got to pull together. Black men are going to jail and prison more than they're going to school and college. What are we going to do about that? You can smile and you can shake your head, but still yet a black man is going to jail because he done killed somebody. Gun violence around here ain't never been like it been now. But now you got young black men in the streets don't have nowhere to go. We got the money. Why we don't have no YMCA? Why we don't have no movies? Why we don't have no place to go? With the hair, all you walk down, all you see is black men hanging on the corners. What y'all gonna do? What is y'all gonna do? We elect y'all. You got to do something. Later for talking. And I'm going to say this, then I'm going. A man that works good, get paid good. than a man just go in there and just work because he got a job.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to, is there anybody with the sheriff's office? Is the sheriff here? Yes, he is. All right. Would you like to speak?
Thank you, Chairman, Council, everyone else. I'm here to give a short overview of where we are with the Sheriff's Department. Obviously, we're still having some issues with vehicles. We're short now. I actually have now more men than I have cars because they're, got 2 or 3 that's down. We just hired, and I do appreciate this. You did give us 2 more officers, and I appreciate that very much. The problem was you gave us 2 officers, but you didn't give us any more operational funds for those officers. You gave us a salary, but we didn't get any more operational funds for them. We're hoping to get some vehicles because we need them. It's my understanding, and I guess it's nobody's fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but we're looking for vehicles because we don't have any. It's obvious it's going to be months before we get vehicles. Now, that's not anybody's fault, it appears in here, but it was planning that should have been done that wasn't done, and so now we're where we are. We're still waiting on the laptops that we asked about back in February or March. We have not received those yet. None of my officers have body vests that are certified anymore. They're all outdated, all of them. So they're all walking around. Those who have on vests, they're outdated. We asked for those back in February and March, and we're still waiting on them. And that's at risk for them if something should happen to one of them. Those are things that we have to get done. We are looking forward to seeing if things can get any better. Like I said, we're actually in a position now where we are only 1 person short, which is good. I mean, if anything is coming out of anything right now, we are budgeted for 32 people, and we now actually have 31. And we have some more applications for that one. The detention center, I think, is only 3 people short, so they're up almost 17 to 18 people. We're getting the people. People are actually coming here to work, and that's a plus for us. That is a plus for this county, that people are willing to come here and work in this county in law enforcement. And I thank God and I appreciate that. But there's some things that we need to make sure that they're safe and they can do their job the best that they can. I'll take any questions that anyone have from council.
Sheriff, I would like for you to address the shootings that we've seen through the county. I know we've had some issues.
We've had shootings. We are in the process of investigating those shootings, and we're comfortable that we'll be able to resolve those shootings. I can't stand here and tell you there are not going to be more shootings because that wouldn't be anything that I can control. Shootings is something that's done that we can work on it after it happened. It's impossible for us to do anything before the shootings. After the shooting, we are responsible to do what we can, and we have made, I think, about 5 arrests as a result of the last shootings. I won't say they're common. I think I've heard somebody say about the shootings, but they're just not shootings here. They're shootings everywhere. But I want to compliment my folk, and I thank you for asking that. Those guys and those ladies have done a great job in getting that done. They're doing a great job, and I appreciate every one of them that work for us because they're doing something that most people don't want to do. Most people ran from the shooting. Guess where my folk had to go? They had to go to the shooting. And they went through the shooting knowing that at any time something can happen to them. And I worry because they went with some bad vests on. But they went. We will do what we can. We'll continue to do what we can. We're partnering with as many people as we can. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting Friday with some church members to see what we can do to combat some of the problems that we're having. School is about to start up. We're meeting tomorrow with school officials to see what we can do. We have SROC going all of our schools. We had training today for active shooters. We're doing some more throughout the year as far as that is, so we can I can't say we can control it, but at least make people aware of what they need to do in the schools should we have a shooting in the schools. And anybody would like to talk to me about getting active shooter training or intruder training in any of their businesses, we'd be glad to help with that. We have somebody that can do the training for us now, and I'm thankful that we're able to get somebody to do that as well.
Do we have a resource officer?
We have a resource officer at all 4 schools in the county, and we have 1 resource officer that is now trained as a safety officer for the county, and he can work in the state as well. And we just partnered with the federal institution to do some more training that we're doing to do some extractions. So we're trying to partner with as many people as we can.
Is it the same resource officer, or do you rotate them out?
No, they stay at one school. They need to stay at that one school so that they're familiar with the kids and familiar with the staff as well. So no, they'll stay at that one school. That's at Blenheim, Cloud, McCall, and Wallace. So we have people there.
So there's a resource officer in Clio? We
Yes,
didn't have
sir.
one last year.
We have one.
That's all I need to know.
We got one at every school.
This last shooting there at that nightclub there, if I'm not mistaken, anything 4 and above is considered a mass shooting. Did we receive any resources? Did you receive any resources from outside for it, maybe Homeland Security or anybody to come in and help you out with that?
SLED came that night and they did the forensic part of it. And they were able to do the forensic part. And we're doing investigations ourselves, and with the forensic, half of that, most of that will end up at SLED.
Was that the first county's mass shooting that you were aware of?
Since I've been here. Since I've been in this position.
Sure, can I ask you a question, sir? I'm the owner of that establishment, and I just want to say this, what are we gonna do as a community, as business owners, as mothers and fathers, to combat what's going on? Because I was, like you said, I didn't have a vest on. I had my fiance, my kids, and all I'm saying to you is this: there's no communication between the youth and law enforcement. They're at each other. That's what it seemed like. I had actually, before that happened, what we did, we threw a daytime event. I want the city council to know, to raise money for a young man, a young black man, who started his own business in Columbia, but he didn't have the resources to get his DOT license. Unbeknownst to him, we raised that money through a day party. $1,900 went to him. He did it 24, but $1,900 went to him. At closing time, those people came from Dillon, from wherever they was coming from, congregated on that block. But I thank God, because one thing I did do for that business, I have a metal detector system. It's on the inside, it's better than the one they have in the courthouse. I have cameras inside and outside, so we can have transparency, so nobody can say that this or that is on. I stood in the midst of those men, and I begged them. I pleaded with them. Don't do this. Don't do this. Meet with me here tomorrow. Meet with me here Sunday. Let's sit down and iron out these differences. Let's try this. Let's just see. And some agreed, and for the ones who didn't agree, we had that shooting. If you look at the camera, and I hope that you make it visible for everybody to see inside and out, it wasn't what is being said.
If I can respond to you, I can't respond to what happened at your place because it's still under investigation. That's true. You said what I can do.
As far as us and these kids.
And I'm going to answer that question. We're trying to partner with everybody we can. If you remember last week, we went to 4 different schools to partner with the schools. Tomorrow, I meet with every principal that we have SROs. We're going to sit down and go through a contract with them on what we're doing as an agency. We're going to do that. I'm asking them because there are a lot of discipline problems at the school. One of the biggest things I see that they can do, they're trying to fix somebody else's children. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Yeah.
But until they start involving their children, their parents, and their children's behavior, nothing changes. That's the first thing we got to do. Secondly, I go to church every Sunday, sometimes on Wednesday. I pray twice a day. I don't miss that. I think maybe some more folks need to do that. Maybe we all need to start praying, spending time with our children. But if we're too busy, and this is nothing against your club, but if we're too busy going to a club and being home with our kids, there are problems happening. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I went to a club. But as I got older, I got better. So don't get me wrong. Your business is your business, and if entertainment is nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna laugh and have fun as long as I live. But do we need restrictions on some things? Yes. There needs to be some restrictions on a lot of things. But I think if parents take more interest in their children, and less in work, because believe it or not, most folk work just for what? Just for their children. Exactly right. Now, I don't mean no harm, but a child can wear a good pair of sneakers from Walmart just like they can a pair of Nike. And when you work in 2 or 3 jobs to take care of your children, you don't have time to stay home for your children. So do the one job, stay home with your child, and it's not all children, but if you watch a child in kindergarten how they play, what happens from that kindergarten until they get about 6th grade? What changed? What changed? That's where we gotta look at it, y'all. That's where we gotta do our part. All of us. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. But as parents, as other folk, we all gotta do our part. I was introduced and talked to one of the managers at the dump park, and he wants to do more than what he can to help folks. So we all got to get involved. Everybody keeps saying we're going to get involved. No, we're not. Let's be truthful about this. We ain't getting involved unless it has something to do with us individually. And that's the part we got to stop.
I'm sorry, we just said.
You asked.
And I think this is very important, and I really do appreciate it.
We can do this anytime.
Yeah.
And my door, I'm leaving. My door is open. Come see me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right, we'll move into recognition of council members. I'm going to start on this end with Councilman Odom.
First off, have nothing but hard feelings for the people that Oak River lost their job. I think get everybody about surprised. I guess nobody more surprised than all of y'all, because you do work hard, and it's just a shock to this county. That many people's gonna lose their jobs in roughly 60 days, and I guess what we all would hope for would have been some kind of transition, maybe a year from now, where they maybe close one plant or two and let everybody know ahead of time. But that's not the case. And it is Mohawk's call. They made the call, and there was plenty of people that was involved trying to find out if they could do it, revisit it and see if that was the right decision for Marlboro County. But it doesn't appear like the people in Georgia who made the management that was what they wanted to do. But we do have a lot of people working to get a job fair set up. All of us were on the phone within 30 minutes of hearing what had happened with the governor's office, with the economic and workforce people in Columbia to get this rapid response team coming in that's going to help the people that actually were trying to get y'all placed in positions somewhere. But there are plenty of opportunity around this area. Mr. Mullins alluded to the fact that a lot of people have called him, and a lot of people have called each of us about getting people jobs over in North Carolina. I have called back from LOL. They're looking for people. Their manager was looking for people. So there are some opportunity out there, but it's nothing like the place y'all been working for all these years. But I'm just sorry for all y'all. It's just a shock to every one of y'all. It's a shock to this community. And we just got to put our faith in God that we'll get through this thing. And just appreciate all y'all.
I concur with all that, and a lot of my people work there, my cousins, my daddy, my uncles, Mohawk. Most of them retired from there. Got a cousin that been there 20-some years. His wife just passed away last week, and him finding out a day or two later that he's losing his job too. So I know that kind of what all of you are going through. I see it with him, and you know, I think Mohawk could have done us better than this. I made a phone call to Mohawk time I heard it and tried to see if there's anything that we could do, and nobody would call me back. And so and it's your lives, it's serious, and I understand that, and I want to do anything I can to help any of you, just like with my family, same thing. So, if you can think of anything at all, like I said, I have reached out there to try to talk to someone at Mohawk, and cannot get a comment or cannot get them to call me back. And, so I want you to know that I feel your pain, and if I can do anything for any of you, I mean, I'll be glad to do my level best, and that's all.
Dr. Johnson?
First, I want to say to the employees of Mohawk, I apologize for our failures to you, because we have indeed, as a council, as a county, failed you all miserably. And I want to first apologize for that. While this decision was Mohawk's decision, we have some culpability in this decision. Last week we was down in the Association of Counties, and I was disappointed that many of my fellow council members took this opportunity as a vacation instead of going to those classes, engaging with people, connecting with other people, getting ideas to be able to bring back to Marlboro County. And now we're reacting to something that should have been known and should have been prevented. We are failing you miserably. And until we, as council members, take our job seriously, you all will continue to witness the downhill of Marlboro County, because we're going fast. And it doesn't give me any joy to be up here saying these things. It grieves me to sit here in a county to see it continually go down. Week after week, month after month, year after year, and we see the same people in the positions. Change starts at the top. It starts at the top. And in my honest opinion, until we change leadership, we're going to continue to revisit these problems. We're going to continue to have Marlboro County in the lowest of every negative category there is on the face of the earth. And until we take our jobs seriously as council members and really and truly look out for the people that we are entrusted to serve, we will continue to have Marlboro County in the lowest position that we can ever be in. And it's not changing. And until we change, until you make us change, until you, my fellow citizens, make us change, you will continue to see this county in the position, in the condition that it is, because we don't take you seriously. And that's all I have to say.
To the Mohawk family, I work at Delta Mills, and when you work in a textile plant, your family. I mean, you see them every day. You spend more time with that people at work than you do your own family. And so I was there, and when I left before it closed, but my number was 77288. All y'all probably have a number. You know what they told me there? I was just a number. But I worked hard I give them everything I had. I was gone before they closed, but I give them everything I had. And that's a bad feeling. My dad worked at United Technology at Essex. They come in there, they weren't gone. We wondered, where were we going to get our meal? I saw, as a kid, whenever their dad was in that position, I understand. So my heart goes out to you. But as Deacon Bright said, we trust in one that can do more than all of us together, and that's the good Lord. You know, that's the one that we can put our trust in. And so my heart goes out to you. A year and a half ago in Columbia, the man told us he would not close the plant. That was his words. That was his words. I mean, I went down there, and he said, we will not close the new plant. We've invested too much money in it. That was his words. So that was his word. So you take it as what it was, but you know, you hear it at the last minute that it was gone. And so like I said, my heart goes out to you. We'll be praying for you. If there's anything we can do, we are trying to put some things in place to help you. They don't fix the problem, you know, but we are trying to do some things to help. You know, the other thing is what I've heard last week of you know, so many times, you know, we have roads that still closed down. Old White Road up in the Wallace area was closed. I talked with some members from DHEC and said that the landowners had kind of put some things in the works to where that road could hopefully be opened up here in the near future. So that's been a long process to see. You think just for a road to open, and you know, you try and try and try. It seems like nothing happens, and so hopefully that road will be open. And so, like I said, hopefully there could be new and better paying jobs. I mean, we're in the Delta for $7.95 an hour. You know, and that wasn't no money. You know, it was no money. You know, so I mean, I've been in your shoes. You know, and so, but the good Lord will bless. He can bless, and you know, He can carry you to a better place. So we'll be praying for that.
Thank you. Mr. Stroman?
Yes, sir. First of all, this plant that closed, Oak River, it was one of the hardest places to work that I know of. You know, I hate to see you all, you know, get displaced like this. However, Oak River has been doing the citizens of Marlboro County any kind of way they wanted to for a long time. And really, they should be reckoned with. We dealt with Oak River when Oak River had a Negro Christmas tree. They had people literally hanging from a rope on a Christmas tree. And we had to go down and deal with Oak River. They have paid, like the man said, slave wages for a long time. You know, and recently they did come up with pay, and that was out of the trend, I think, that everybody, you know, when it came popular for the employer to compete for its employee. You know, so I hate to see you in this position, but I am glad for one of the, in my opinion, one of the worst places to work to not even do it. We can take this negative and turn it into something positive. And I'm most certainly going to do everything in my power to make that happen. The county will sponsor job fairs for you guys to make sure that and I'm not talking about 6 months from now, I'm talking about before, you know, here pretty shortly, for you all can come in and present yourself and get pay that you're used to or better. You understand? That's what we want. We don't want anybody to come in and just give you a job because you need a job. You need something that you're used to, that you can make a living doing. Also, to the Mohawk family, reach out. Now's the time for you to reach out, help someone. If you have skills writing resumes, some of you have been down there since you got out of high school, 20, 30 years or better. If you know somebody that needs help with the resume, please reach out, help them. You know, let's do this together. You know, I guarantee we're gonna do everything on this end to help you all out of this hole. And I know it appears dark now, we're gonna get through this. You're gonna get through it. And let's see, I want you all to really pay attention to the sign. We have a new sign up. That's pivotal right now. We will be placing jobs on that sign for you all to see where they are, and some links I'm told to how to get there, get to them. For those of you who don't know, the sign is on Broad Street right now, right across the street from the farmer's market. You know, you all are some of the hardest working people that I ever seen, because I know what it was like, particularly for women in Oak River. I've never seen women work that hard, and the men would sit around and do really nothing, but the women, oh my God. You know, so you are some of the hardest working people that I know. Ms. Ridges, please stay around, because I really like what you said, and I really want to talk to you about an issue and a position that I would love for you to serve, if you would, on a board that we're getting ready to create, and I just believe that you'll be perfect for it if you could stay around and give me some information.
That's it. Ms. Playtime?
First, I would like to say, everybody know about Oak River, but I can tell you some stories about it too. I think some of the people that worked Oak River know me. I was there for 47 years. The last 10 years, I was a supervisor in the warehouse. I know how we worked. I know how we worked and how they treated you. I had to eat my lunch in the bathroom. I couldn't go in the canteen with the other folks. So I know a lot of things that went on that I went through. Couldn't drink from the same water fountain. I'm talking about when I was there now, coming up. So I know what it is to work in a place where you're mistreated. But I always learned, and my mom always taught me, and I don't know whether a lot of people know it, you might know my mom, and she was a praying lady, and she would always pray for her, and I pray a lot myself. But I do know what go around, come around. Huh? And I don't care what somebody done to you. It's like Oprah said in that show, what you trying to do to me, it's already done to you. Huh? So I know they will get it back for what they're trying to do to you. Now, I talked to a couple of people down there in the office when it was a couple of days ago. And I asked them about the closing and everything. This is what they told me. They said that the carpet industry is going out. They are going to other types of flooring that they're using now. So they got to work, all the warehouses in Georgia is packed with stuff, and then it's not shipping out, selling it. So they didn't have, since the job was declining, they couldn't really get the workers like they wanted to, and the product is not selling, they didn't have no choice but to close. That's what they told me. And so another thing they didn't tell me though, I wish they would have, I had in mind that they was gonna offer y'all a service package. I really did. I thought after y'all being down there working like y'all have, and I know how you work down there, that they would offer something to you, you know, and I think that's wrong. I definitely disagree with that at all. Y'all need something with the job y'all do down there and going to work back and forth like y'all have. So I really hate that it happened to you, but I feel you. I feel your pain, because I've been there. And so I understand where you're coming from, but I'm praying that something gonna take place and everybody in here gonna get a job somewhere, somehow, and I feel that. But it's a sad time, and we gonna, just like everybody else said, that we gonna work together, and we got to come together. We got to come together. That's the only way we're gonna get anything done. We got to come together, and it's not just the council, it's the city too. All of us got to come together to come up with some ideas where we can come up with a situation where we can offer the help that y'all need. And we're working on that. And I promise you we're going to do all we can to do that, without a doubt. with the leadership and the people here on the council with ideas and whatnot, we're gonna come up with something to work to help you all, okay? So anyway, that's what I got to say with that, but something gonna give one way or the other. And I pray that it's gonna work out for everybody here. But meanwhile, if y'all need anybody that, maybe you know somebody that need a resume done or whatever, contact me. I'm in the book. Everybody know where I live. And you can find me, that's for sure. I'm sitting on a little curve going around by the landfill, right in that curve. Everybody know where I'm at. So if you need me, look me up. I might can do more help than you think I can. All right? So but just find me. But anyway, that's about all I got to say on that. The other thing is on the 30th at the Lindsay Park, we had this family fun day, and it was a big success. And I want to thank everybody that came out to make it a success. And it was really good. And I'm hoping that they will do this every year for the county. And there's so many people I can sit here and thank, but I'm just gonna say I thank everybody that came out to help and to make it a big success. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to say? That's about all I can think of. I don't have nobody complaining in my area about anything. So I think that's it. I think that's all I got to say. Mr. Woods.
Councilman Woods?
We all got, many of us here is, have a Christian background. We went to church, raised in the church. And one of the things that people always said, when one door closes, another door opens.
Yes, yes, yes.
And there was another saying, may the work I done speak for me. It's because when you work hard and you put that on a resume or you contact somebody, first they're gonna look at your work history, your work experience. But they know you don't put in hours and years at Oak River. Two things they know. One, you know how to work, and you know how to come to work. And so that's what people are looking for. Mom and Dad always used to tell us, and we tell our children this now, put your pants up. Put your big boy pants on. Don't let nobody determine your outcome. You know how to work. You know how to talk. You know how to go knock on that door. Say, look, I'm hungry. I gotta work. I need to work. I wanna work. Don't sit down and don't sit back and look for a handout. We able to work. You work yesterday, you work tomorrow, you can go to work next week, you can go to work in November. We gotta look for work. Jobs is out there. So there's no need to sit around and boo-hooing. You know what we gotta do. We gotta put food on our table for our children. We need to put clothes on their back. We need to go to work. I work every day. Y'all say y'all do 12 hours? I do 12 hours, 10, 12 hours every day at my garage. Sometimes I get paid, sometimes I don't. But you know what? I gotta go back the next day and do it again. We all gonna survive this day, cause you know, joy comes in the morning.
Amen.
The joy come in the morning. Yeah, it's dark now. But you know, we gonna hold our head up. We're gonna go to work tomorrow for those who go to work tomorrow. And we say, you know what? This might be a blessing. All disasters ain't a disaster. You know, like I say, I never been in Oak River, never been inside. But I heard a lot of war stories. And like everybody say, that's one of the hardest places I heard to work at. So sometimes God take you through things to show you something else. So, you know, we hold our heads up. We keep our heads up. You ask for help. People say we vote us in, but yet we just one vote. We cannot make nobody open a plant, make nobody close a plant. When First Citizen closed up in Clio, you know, hey, that was a shot to us. Why are you gonna close the bank? But when the powers to be decide to do something, they don't care about the little man on the pole. But what we do, hey, we pull our pants up and say, okay, let's go. What mom and dad used to say, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. No matter how you get it, you gotta get it. That's the sad thing about the whole scenario is how and why. A slap in the face, quick, fast, in a hurry. But you know, like I said before, joy come in the morning. And the only thing that pushes me in a lot of things, August the 14th, coming up next week, my grandmother be 106 years old and living, talking, walking. 106, history. That pushes me. That drives me. I said that because that need to push y'all too. Because we all know somebody doing worse than we are. There's always somebody doing worse than we are. And what we do, we keep driving and getting better. And she's 106. And she don't complain. She don't have no reason to complain because she don't see it at all. And we walking around worrying about these little things that God already got in plan. We know how to pray. Get on these and ask him, God help me. When nobody else can help me. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. Amen.
Thank you, Chairman. We feel y'all's pain. We know y'all's concern, and we're going to stand with y'all and try to get you reemployed. Personally, I've got a large investment here, and my family does here in Bennettsville. Like Laverne Douglas said earlier, I mean, this is my home, but I'm not going anywhere. If this community fails, I fail. My family fails. So we've got to work together and bring this community together. We got to work together on county council and do the best for our citizens. And with that being said, is there a motion to adjourn? Second. All right, all in favor? All right, we stand adjourned.